Thank you for choosing to listen to my Streetcasts. In this series, I want to explore and explain individual tools, techniques, or approaches that I use for my street photography. I hope you take the time to comment if you have any thoughts on the matter, and if you would like to hear more, please don't forget to subscribe. I still believe that street photography is a near-perfect training ground for event photography, with one significant exception. For street, we tend to choose a single focal length, but for paid work based on last year's experience, one needs a zoom. Well, it was that time of year again. The annual 2-day marathon event photography job for a user conference in Munich was on. Tied up as I was, I hope you can understand why I skipped a few streetcasts, as the preparation was important. Corporate event photography is a rather creative affair. Like street photography, we're hunters searching for moments that reflect the event, sentiment and mood. The experiences and interactions are crucial to the enjoyment and engagement of the participants, and the photography needs to reflect that. Sneaking around, invisible in the shadows, to capture these gems of interaction is an interesting version of candid photography. Street photography is similar in that we search for moments that reflect experiences and interactions that show what's happening. And just like street, hopefully without being noticed and influencing the outcome. And when we are noticed, we don't have to cower, scurry away, or get shouted at. However, another difference is that in street, if we miss opportunities, we kick ourselves. In paid event photography, if we miss opportunities, the client kicks us. I've always been taken by fixed lenses, and previous years doing this event, I've worked more with the fixed manual AIS lenses, hot swapping. Actually, it was more like hot juggling with near mishaps. With street photography, each picture mostly stands alone. Event work, however, needs to stand together as a representative body of work, covering the components of the event so they flow to a complete narrative. More importantly, the marketing department contracting you has an aim. They expect diverse perspectives, not only in content but also in style and lens choice. Faced with the limitations in last year's lens choice, I decided I needed an f2.8 zoom equivalent to the 17-50 Sigma that my wife Karen uses. Hers being effectively 25 to 75mm image coverage when the crop is taken into account. Being full frame incurs costs above and beyond the similar version for crop, but if you're going to do it, you may as well do it right. The Nikon 24-70 f2.8 AFS EDN non-VR version is a beast, together with the D610 nearly 2 kilograms of engineered beauty with a nice gold ring. One ring to rule them all and in the darkness bind them. And with the f2.8 in the darkness, it does a great job of binding light to the sensor. At around €750 second-hand, this lens is not cheap, but because of it I was able to react more quickly and had less stuff to carry. I knew testing the lens in the shop that this was just nice. I had a similar feel when I first picked up the 135mm Nikon Q lens. So naturally, whilst paying for the lens in the shop, when the lady at the till asked, "Where's the lens?" already fondling it, I replied, "You can't have it back, it's my precious." Previous years had me lugging my camera bag with virtually my entire lens collection. Secreting this bag somewhere allowed me to move more freely, but had me permanently tense, concerned with theft or damage. However, the precious is still similar in weight to 3 or 4 prime lenses I would need to carry to achieve a similar focal length, albeit in one piece. So this year I was not only more fluid and ready, but was also far more relaxed and concentrated on the job. Things like this are never mentioned in the typical how-tos. As paid photographers, our concentration is our fundamental benefit over those that just take snaps. Anything that sidetracks our focus or limits our readiness must be remedied. This year I was also thrown a side challenge into the mix, which initially had me rather concerned. A senior executive was presenting a paper for publication, and they needed an accompanying photograph. Now, portraits and stage shots are not really a problem for me, but I often take them ad hoc without the pressure to meet certain criteria. In addition, if it were specific, I could always get the appropriate lighting and could stage the shot as needed. In this case, I neither had the benefit of hit or miss, nor could I carry the studio choices that would deliver with certainty a working result. Suffice to say I did it, and the pictures are better than I expected. Through no small measure, this was down to resorting back to the trusty 50mm f1.8 AIS lens, with experience and preparation thrown in. The point being, the zoom alone is not always enough. But I could handle the little 50 in my bag or pocket without too much problem. It strikes me that people looking at photography as a profession consider the job as stress-free and easy. The truth is that logistics and planning are crucial to delivering a good result, just as well thought through equipment and artistic practice too. With all this talk on kit, preparation and approach, there's one thing that makes a difference greater than all that: the client. In my case, I'm so amazingly lucky that this particular company is cram-packed with staff, exhibitors, end users that are just really nice people. It can't be stressed enough how much vibrance in the images comes from the people's character. However, without the total preparation, concentration during, and diligence in post, a job is going to be less successful. Street photography still proves to be an excellent experience on which to fall back on for those wanting to turn their passion into a precious.